here we go. It's the Cosmic Watch. Welcome. Come on in. I'm Franklin. I'm the astrologer around here. And the way to get a private reading with me, Franklin, is to go to weforetell.com. Find all the information right there, along with the other psychics at weforetell.com who provide information right here on YouTube. Not only with the live streams, but also with videos. We have an entire video library of content with up to date horoscopes for each and every sign, and also compatibility charts and tarot reading charts, all sorts of useful information available to you not only on YouTube, but also on Spotify. And if you like what you see there, please give us a thumbs up because it really does make a difference. And we thank you for your support. And what we do here on the Cosmic Watch, and we'll do in the next hour, is invite our friends into the chat room. And we will do readings for them and give you a chance to see. Maybe if you're not familiar with how psychic readings work, then you'll see how the interaction really comes not so much between myself and the person who's getting the reading, but my spirit guides and their spirit guides having a conversation. And your spirit guides are such an interesting subject. I truly believe we all have them. I mean, if I do, why wouldn't everybody else? I'm surely no more than the average human being trying to live in this world, trying to be contented, to have a cool life in the hot house of that we've been placed into. An environment means so much to everyone. You got heredity and you got environment, and everybody gets kicked around. Everybody gets pushed around by fate and circumstances beyond our control. And that's what we're talking about here on the Cosmic Watch, is things that are bigger than us. The moon sign tonight is in Virgo, and that affects each and every human on this planet. The moon's the closest thing to us. And when the moon sign changes, as it does every 2.5 days, the general opinion in the world changes. Virgo's an earth sign. And when the moon sign falls into Virgo, it's about your health and your diet and your exercise. It's getting yourself in the best possible shape, getting yourself ready to get out there in the world and find your place. And of course, that is what the first house in the zodiac, Aries, is all about. And just yesterday, we came out of dream-like Pisces that ends the entire zodiac. And what happens next? You go right into a new beginning. You go from the 12th house seamlessly back to the first house, and you start all over again. It's almost reincarnation. It is reincarnation. And this is how things turn all the time. And this is why we have spirit guides to help us make the decisions that change our life. The decisions you make today will affect your future. It's never too late to change. That's the point. Never say never. Never say never to the possibility of you obtaining new information. Upon further review, suddenly you see the truth can change. You have to be ready to change. People have been around longer than they can count on their fingers, for a long time. And they are basically the same. People have been writing on cave walls for at least 50, 100,000 years, drawing pictures. And isn't that what the tarot card system is? It's a series of pictures that depict common situations. When people on this earth first started traveling around, how could they communicate with new people? With pictures, of course. That's how tarot starts. And in the chat room, with us tonight is I'm not even sure I can pronounce it. Anastasia. I think that's close, saying hi, and also saying very bored in work. And this is that Virgo moon. Virgo's about work. It's about your everyday habits, and to see that you're not using your talents and gifts. This is why you're bored, right? You're not being allowed to really use your gifts. So where are you right now? Okay. My goodness. Look, this is, Anastasia says, can't bring my guitar to work. Oh man. What I see in your future is a gift from the universe. Something like being able, back, there was a great joke we played back when I was on the radio. Is we would do a bit about, the wonderful thing about working here is they let us listen to the radio while we're working, and that's what's being talked about here. Can't bring my guitar to work. The only person I ever knew who could do that, and it wasn't a professional musician, was the overnight disc jockey who played a guitar along with the songs to keep himself awake in the middle of the night. But music, something that means something to you, can of course relieve the humdrum of the work. We all find ourselves at different times in our life getting away from what we feel inspired to do and doing what we have to do, trying to make a living. Ooh, that's a dangerous business. Here's Larry saying hello in the chat room tonight. Larry, let's see what is going on with you. I see where your area got snowed in a little earlier today, and I bet you got off work early today, didn't you? And that's what the return to the past is here. This is an angel blowing the horn to bring back the past. To Larry, you're about to experience. And yeah, there's a retrograde coming up in just a week, but you're about to experience a return to the past, a blast from the past. This could well be somebody from the past, Larry. Larry says at least 6 inches of snow. As when they say light snow, about 6 inches, you're in the northern half of the country. There's no doubt about it. I went out and worked in the yard today, It was a beautiful springtime day, and it is just a few hundred miles south, right? But boy, what a difference! So, Larry, you're about to get a blast from the past. So this could be somebody from the past coming back. Ooh, couldn't it just ever be the person that you thought was perhaps coming to work with you there? Boy, that looks like what's about to happen, and things are going to change greatly because of Larry. That one person being changed is going to change the dynamic of the entire workplace there. So we got Larry waiting for the pass, and Anastasia um, still talking about work, still worried about work. Are you looking for a change? Um, are you trying to get out there and really make this happen, or are you waiting for fate to come to you because you feel locked in? I think this is you right there, feeling in order to make money, in order to be in a part of the world, you have to have this job. You have to show others that you have this responsibility. You're able to take on this responsibility. But what you have to see here is how loose those bonds are and how you've kept the blindfold on. You're not really seeing the big picture here. That it's not going to be hard to leave this situation at all. See the shallow water that you think you're drowning in there, and you got half an inch of water, and you think you're going to drown. Oh man! So that is better things are coming through work, and it looks like a new job. Also, in the chat room now, we have SJ saying, "Could you please pull a card for me?" And SJ knows we will pull a card. There's where are you tonight? Oh, okay, okay. Balancing two, and SJ, this is you. This is you being happy, dancing, and finding the balance point as we move into Aries. Aries Aries is about finding your own self confidence. You can do it, sure, but do you believe you can do it? And that's always the big question for Aries, and we've just gone into the first house now. SJ says, Franklin, will my son? Oh, we were talking about this for the last several weeks. SJ's son is trying to have a kidney transplant, and then apparently still looking, I guess, for the right matchup. How is that going to play out in the family? That's the doctor, the ultimate authority, taking the power, doing what needs to be done. Will he get the kidney transplant? Yes, yes, and from people who really care and know what they're doing and will do an excellent job. I mean, this is the top of the line, the king, the best. That and that's also the results here. It's the best that you can hope for. Yeah. So it's really that it's what you've been praying for. That's exactly it. That the doctor's hand will know what to do, and that's exactly how it's going to work out. And it's a beautiful thing to know that you're taken care of. to know that God does care about you, and that you matter. And no matter what the world has pushed, what corner you've been pushed into by circumstances beyond your control, no permanent damage has ever been done to your spirit. You, there's no harm done when you learn from mistakes, not only your own, but the mistakes of other people. Think about if you were all alone on this planet, how little you'd have figured out by now. Why, at 74 now, I figured out everything. But it's the fact that we learn from each other. People wonder why we have so many people on this planet. Why 7 billion people all at the same time? It's to accelerate our learning, to give us more people to learn from, to see 6 billion plus people making mistakes and learning from them. And this is what we have to give, why we have to give other people slack. They're learning from their mistakes. Of course, they're going to make mistakes. So the idea of punishing people every time they make a mistake, smacking a kid every time they do something wrong, it just doesn't work. If everybody works together, we can learn not only from our own mistakes by admitting them instead of trying to hide them from everyone else, or like politicians never admitting that we're not perfect. Why, we've never made a mistake. That person's lying. you know, people make mistakes every day, and people learn from mistakes every day. But it's the making of those mistakes that makes us think that we need to tell other people what to do. Why do men think they should control the lives of women? Because they see them making mistakes, and they want to just straighten them out. Why do older people greatly hold under their thumb teenagers, young people? Because they know they're going to make mistakes, and Lord knows that they will every day. So then, as those people get older, why do middle-aged people start taking the power away from the elderly? Because they see them making mistakes. They see them getting scammed, right? Losing every time they have. So there's a fine line there between understanding that people are learning from making these mistakes, and let men and women work together. Let the young and old work together. Wouldn't that? Who knows how that would work out? It ain't never been tried, has it? For not long enough to see if it works. Wouldn't that be something if people could actually combine their efforts and work together for a common cause, for the common good, and all feel like we were on the same boat, all headed for the same place. We're all going to the same destination. It's the next world. Everything's circular. We'll circle back around. And here's Heather joining us in the chat room, saying good evening to everyone. Heather, I know you're still working on getting the foster children. Any further word or any questions that you have tonight, Heather, on how that's or anything else is going? It's this is a lot of what we do here in the chat room is open ourselves to each other and find out what has been going on. My birthday was just a week ago, and boy, things things before my birthday were running so smooth. Heather says, I'll have the rest of my interview next week. Still being interviewed to pass the test of being a foster parent. It's oh man, and Heather says been sick, and I know my wife had COVID just a week or so ago. It's just, whoo, you it makes you want to wear a mask anytime you go out there. There really is a lot of sickness, and it all passes through the air. And right now, the air is so full of springtime out there that boy, you can't hardly breathe just from the regular air, but also in that air, in that air that each spirit on this earth has to breathe. There's all the good and bad karma that's ever been created on the planet. Heather says, I can't breathe with asthma has been bad. Yeah. See, I was born with chronic asthma, and both of my parents were chain smokers. I mean, first thing, last thing, all day long, and it never crossed their mind that there was any sort of a connection between the two. But this is one. I outgrew it. And it just shows you, even when you're a kid who has no understanding whatsoever of the world takes care of you, and gives you a helping hand, helps you through those times when you can't breathe and you feel so bad that the last thing in the world you want to do is go to school. It was just as a little, I was so bad at being a little kid because I always had a big voice, and anytime I said anything, everybody in the room would turn around and say, no, you're wrong. And when that happens more than once, you shut up. You just completely shut down. And that's what I did. When I was 8 years old, I just turned off the light, and I had my own world. Somehow, through the grace of God, was able to walk through this world on this planet in a daze for years, and the only thing that pulled me out of it was other people. Other people saying, hey, wake up in there, you know. Other people like the first girl I ever fell in love with, who walked up to me at a party and said, I think you look like Paul McCartney. Boy, you talk about hooking a fish. It's how other people think about us that gives us our idea of who we are. And that's the only way to find out. Heather says, sorry for space sticking. May I ask how things will go with Zachary's urologist appointment on April the 3rd, retaining a lot. Yeah, man. Well, let's see, Heather. So the appointment is on April the 3rd. And you want to know what's going to be the result of this? Will they be able to give him help? Yes. You are doing exactly the right thing. This is you nurturing those that you love. So yes, and this is also you speaking up to the doctor. See, it's a 3. That's expressing yourself. Don't be overawed by the doctor. Don't be afraid to tell the doctor what you think. You're the one who's there. And observation is a huge part of this. You can be a big part of the getting well. And it's you communicating with the doctors and letting them know exactly how you feel, how child feels, and they'll work with you. They look like they will be able to let you do what you do best. That's nurturing people. Heather says that they wanted me to log his bathroom breaks and intake, but hard to at school. Well, impossible at school. So you just got to do the best you can at when he's at home. You know, I mean that's asking the impossible. There's no way really that you're going to be able to do that unless you have him at home. And and out of school, and he's 10. Yeah, yeah. Larry's asking, will the eclipse affect certain signs more than others? Ooh. Now that is interesting because I haven't looked to see what sign that eclipse on is either April the 7th or 8th, and it will most certainly affect more than anything whatever the sun sign is and whatever the moon sign is. The sun and the moon are the most important factors in astrology and in everything that we do. So we'll, Larry, that's a good idea. We'll look ahead. I'll have that ready for you next week, and we'll look at. See, there's going to be a double thing happening in the month of April, and we're not only going to begin the month of April with another Mercury retrograde, but also 1 week into that retrograde, we're going to have another total eclipse of the sun. Things going dark in the middle of the afternoon, and it's the eclipse is just like rebooting your computer. There's no way to hit fast forward or rewind in life, in fate, but an eclipse gives us a chance to have it's like a thunderstorm has knocked the lights out, and suddenly everything is dark. And when it comes back on, you have to reset all the clocks. You have to start over. You have to reset everything, and that's what the eclipse does. The eclipse finishes off the past, no matter if you were done with it or not. It's going to release the past for you. So when that eclipse comes across North America, and it's going to be almost identical to the one back in 2016 in the ground that it covers. And here's Cody saying, "Hey," and asking how been living in the fantasy land. People don't let you stay there very long, and I think that's something awesome, and you really are brought back by other people, and it's other people that we are living our lives for. This is why our spirit guides come to us. They're other people. We're other people to them. They're helping us. Why would other spirits try to help us? It's because we all have to go to God together. nobody goes to God. Even those who are enlightened already have to wait for everybody to be enlightened. That's why it's important enough to the spirit guide that they come back, get inside of you, and help you make decisions to help along your enlightenment. SJ says, uh, how long? How long for the transfer? So, like, how long to wait? How will it take them a long time to find the right donor? Then let's see. Let's for SJ, it won't take long because it's payback. It's payback for something you paid forward on. That you've a good deed you've done, something you did in earlier time, maybe even in another life. But yes, it will. Cody says, I'd like to have a surprise card. Well, there's nothing but surprises in this world, Cody. let's have a look. If I were asking Cody's guides to show me what he needs to see tonight, it's Cody, you are the messenger. You are the one who's bringing all of us a message of some sort tonight. So maybe this concerns what's going on in your life right now. Cody says, yeah, I am. It looks like good news. I mean, I don't. I think you have something to pass along to us that is going to make everybody happy. Is going to make us all feel good the way you're feeling good about it right now. That's something that you have. SJ saying hi to Cody, and we have such a generous group of people here who are able to intermingle and become more powerful. It's like meditating together as a group. You become more powerful. And the whole idea of life is to feel good, isn't it? I mean, we're here to be happy, and even though happiness can only come to us when with the end of whatever is causing us problems, at least we know how to get it, right? Happiness comes to you when you get past whatever difficulty has been in your life. A life without difficulties would be very boring. It would be such a small life. If you never had anything to get over, if everybody, let's say you were born a millionaire, everybody would love you. You would never know if anybody truly cared about you. Now, this is one of the decisions that a spirit going from life to life has to make that decision. Am I going to come back as will I have these good looking people as my parents? Because that means a lot. Or will I have these rich parents? That's a decision you have to make when you come into this world. And well, thank all of you. I do. I thank each one of you for being you make the show. You are the show. Cody says, I think the key of it for myself is to believe myself in my life. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. The whole key to being able to do psychic work is believing in yourself. If you can't do readings for yourself and you don't see the authenticity of what you're doing, you'll never go any further. And I don't know if I ever would have if one of my sisters hadn't said, hey, do a reading for me. Right. And, the first one I ever did, it just felt like the most natural thing in the world. I felt like she got some good out of it. That was the hook. See, that was the hook. And it's all about being asked. It's very difficult to do a reading on someone who has not asked for the reading, because when the people here in the chat room ask questions, their spirit guides are coming between the lines. Their spirit guides are speaking to them by their questions. Listen to yourself when you give advice to someone else, especially when you're telling a child, you're trying to give them instruction, and you'll hear your spirit guides coming through, talking to you, and of course they come in your voice. That's the voice you'll trust most. When an angel comes to you in a vision or a dream, they come in a form that you will trust. This is why everybody who's ever been on this planet has always, in the back of their mind, thought that God looks remarkably like me. And everybody else must be something else. You know? And this is what has caused so much friction between the different peoples of the world. When a person prays or meditates and they see an angel, and that vision comes to them in their mind, they are almost guaranteed to see an angel that is their gender and their race and probably about their age. It's, if you were an angel, that's what you would do. That's how you would work. You would try to get people to believe you, first of all. So Cody, we're looking for you to come up with a message for us, and maybe that was it right there. Thinking that the key for yourself is to believe in yourself. Now we're talking about the astrology. First house, Aries. Aries started today. What is Aries about? Aries is about being overconfident. Yeah, being overconfident. And the flip side of that, having writer's block, not believing in yourself enough to get out there and even try. So it's a double-edged sword, man. It really is. Uh-huh. Cody says, here as the messenger. And there's think about the opportunities, Cody, in this lifetime, today, the way we are able to reach people all around the planet. My God, for all we know, we're reaching out with radio waves to people on other planets. Today, we can reach more souls as a singular voice than has ever been. That's why we're living today. That's why you're a messenger today, Cody, because you're not going to be talking to a room full of people. You're going to be talking to a world full of people. An idea can go viral and truly go around the world with translators the way they have them now. It's like we're all speaking one language. And truly that language is computer. The computer language, you have to answer a question, right? It's yes or no. It's either a 0 or a 1. It's either marked out or it's open. That window's either open or closed. And you do a zillion little yes no questions and you get anything. Cody says one of the biggest keys in life is staying more positive. And the more positive we are ourselves, That's the more good things will happen. Staying positive in ourselves. Positive thought creates and attracts like thought. Positive thought. The same way negative thought attracts and creates negative thought. Think about how groups get together and rally around a thought, and they're not growing, they're constricting, they're getting smaller, and burning their thoughts down. Where a positive thought blooms, it flowers. Positive action brings positive action from the person you're looking at. What do humans do? What do humans always do? They return whatever the human in front of them is giving to them. Cody says, not only happier and the spectacular, funniest moments, but also in difficult, tough moments in life. This is what entertainment teaches us. Drama and comedy, man, it's two sides of the same coin. It make you laugh, make you cry, right? You're right on the verge of the two. And that's what true entertainment is to take you outside of yourself. Let you come out of that old cocoon that you live in, where you feel like. And here's something to remember: the human body is this wonderful thing, where there's enough room for your spirit and for God. That's what your soul is. God is inside of every spirit on this earth, including the animals, including your enemies, including those you hate. God is inside, and us trying to come to grips with that. Entertainment lets us come outside. When we get outside of the judgment that we and God and Santa Claus is watching you all put on ourselves. That trying to be perfect and trying to hide our mistakes. Oh, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. No, it's anger, denial, bargaining, depression, acceptance. One of the wisest things ever said, Dr. Elizabeth Kubner-Ross. If you, and probably the only thing you know about Dr. Ross is that she came up with the concept of the 5 stages of death, and so many people have, done comedy bits on it and tried to point out the little nitpicking things that could maybe be wrong, but Dr. Ross is so right. Dr. Ross was the 5th of the 5 children born together. She was the runt, the ugly one, the one her parents told her, "We don't even want you." This is why she worked so hard and became a fantastic doctor who was asked to come to the Albert Schweitzer Hospital. You don't get any better than that. And just before she went, revolution in Africa closes the country down. And there's no jobs for her in Sweden because she's a woman. So she has to marry Dr. Ross, a man who's coming to America, and he has a good job here. He goes to work. I forget what his job was, but Dr. Ross, Elizabeth Kubner-Ross, with all of her massive degrees, all of her massive intelligence, was sent to work in the hospice with people who were dying that week. She worked with 10 100,000 people in New York City who were in the last weeks of their life. And she came up with these remarkable details that work for all of us, that let us know that reincarnation is a real thing. That when you leave this world, you get to see what's going on in that room that you just left. There's so much going on in the spirit world, and Dr. Ross saw this through the spirits that were coming to the people who were near death in the hospice. It was almost always a spirit that had been experienced by that human when they were a child. The invisible friend that we hear so much about comes back to people in the last week of their life to help them make the transition, to help them find their way. So it's God not only is a storyteller, Cody. God has a sense of humor. God has an ironic sense of humor that, thankfully, thank God, allows God to forgive even the most mistaken human beings. Even those who make the greatest mistakes ever made on this earth are forgiven by God. And that, and the fact that you really can't kill a spirit, lets you know that there's been an awful lot of unnecessary killing going on in this world. And it all comes from anger. And that's what Dr. Ross saw, was that our first reaction to anything, being told that we have a terminal disease, is anger. No, that's not me. Anger, and then denial. No. Take somebody else. Bargaining. I'll be good for the rest of my life if you just get me out of this. And then depression comes when your bargaining doesn't work. When your negotiations for your blessedness now, please, very seldom works that way. Because karmic time is something else altogether. The only souls in this universe that time means anything to are the ones who carry watches, and that's people in this life on this earth today. Nobody in the spirit world has a concept of time. This is why the answer to your prayer, the end result of the miracle that comes into your life, might come in the next lifetime. When an angel says, your fate, your destiny is just around the corner, it's coming soon, they can mean in just a few more lifetimes. The concept of time is very different in the spirit world. And you have to know that your spirit guides know this. This is why your spirit guides are always within you, editing your past. What are we supposed to learn from our past? We're supposed to learn to not repeat it in the same way, with that same attitude that we repeated, that we did in the first time. I mean, look at your politicians who keep doing the same things over and over again. It's because they have not learned their lesson. And if you don't learn your karmic lesson, you are doomed to repeat it over and over until you finally get it. Because the spirit world has forever. They don't care how long it takes. They don't care how many mistakes you make. They don't count time. They don't have a watch. They don't have a calendar. And they have a sense of humor. Now, if you know those things about the spirit world, then you can take everything that your spirit guides tell you with the proverbial grain of salt. Know that anything the spirit world shows you is meant only for you. It's liable to be skewed a little bit to make you learn your lesson that your lifetime here is all about. This is why your past, your memories change over time to justify whatever you did, however it worked out. But you weren't that bad as you get further and further away from it, because your guides are great editors. They can change in your mind what was said. Now, that explains an awful lot of what goes on in the world today. And another thing is that we also have spirit guides who have been around forever. I mean, there must be some from thousands of years ago who have been waiting. And the thing that would be missing in the spirit world would be the effects of love, hate, anger, jealousy, getting revenge. So why would a spirit not ride the air into your brain and push you into situations that will stir your blood, make it boil, and give that spirit a joyride? Whee! Let's ride this emotional wave. Think about that the next time anger overrides your good sense. Did I just say that? How often do we blurt out something and then think, oh, I wish I hadn't said that? That's your spirit guides trying to push you into situations that are going to give them a joyride. Cody says they repeat something already happened, and it makes it worse. Well, no, see, and this takes us back to retrogrades that we're about to get in here. First time was good enough. Doing it the second time. Okay, so why would we have a second time? It's to give us another chance. It's the very same idea as reincarnation. This life here is not your only chance. It's not your only rodeo. You're going to have another chance. Don't get so upset by your mistakes that you bury them somewhere and you alter the past that way. I know I didn't do that, and you stonewall, and you can't ever ask for forgiveness that way. And it's forgiveness that makes this whole world go round. Not getting revenge. No amount of revenge will ever satisfy you. Revenge brings revenge. Whoever you do things to is going to try and get back at you. Revenge, 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 revenge. There's no end to it. And also, revenge does nothing to heal the past. The past is unchangeable by us. Our guides can put some changes on it, but we can't. We can't go back and alter what we've done. We have to live with it. And this is what living in this life is all about. And retrogrades and second chances are all about having a chance to do it again and do it better, to learn from the past. And if you don't learn from the past, you have to repeat it. That's just the way that this whole world works. So the closer we get to being able to forgive other people of their imperfections. And that's what it is. When you forgive someone, you're forgiving them for not being perfect. And the only way to do that is to admit that you're not perfect. None of us are. We all make mistakes. This is how humans learn. And the more we can admit our mistakes and admit that the reason we brought imperfections into this life with us, the reason we chose either the good looking or the rich parents, is that we know where we're supposed to go. And we know that we have to learn from our previous lives. The whole idea of showing us being able to see your previous lives is to know that this is not your only life. Cody says, not other things, but it's something that original, that people fight for their freedom. And then the second time they destroy something, or it's that nobody ever loses a war or a battle, for that matter. These things in this country, there were people still fighting the Civil War in 1965. 100 years later, there were people who voted against the Civil Rights Act. 100 years later. It's if you can't learn from your past, boy, there you are 100 years later, still repeating it. I mean, if that doesn't prove it, I don't know what could. It's the world, the universe was created for us, for humans, and for angels who came before us, right? And angels are the only ones who never make mistakes. Because you can't even say that the fallen angels are making a mistake. They had their reasons. They were trying to please God. They were trying to be above humans. They didn't want humans to take God's attention. Angels are the only ones who existed when humans were created. This is why angels are the only ones who know the real story of creation. This is why each culture around the world has been shown by angels a different story of creation to give us all an appreciation of each other and show us how we can all work together. So that's it for tonight. That is the Cosmic Watch. Our hour is gone. Thank you for all who participated and made the show tonight. And remember to hit the thumbs up button to show your support. I'm Franklin, your astrologer. We'll see you again next week, same time, same channel. Until then, have yourself a great week.